today we've got a fun small PSA order. This is small in quantity but large in potential impact. And you might be saying, Jake, PSA, you're wearing a CGC shirt. What is going on here? We'll get into that and so much more. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the whole entire internet. As usual, I am your host, Jake Roy, 90s B-Ball Cards here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a little bit of Twitter, and, well, you know, slacking off again on the good old TikTok. But, you know, we'll be there at some point. So, yes, today we've got a PSA order. This is going to be a 4-card order. And like I said at the beginning, these are 4 cards that have some, you know, big upside. I'm really, really excited to see what these could get. You know, so we'll get into those cards a little bit more. But like I said, I've got the CGC shirt on and the CGC, if I can talk. And the reason for that is 3 of the 4 cards here are actually crossovers that were in CSG slabs. So we will see. You remember, I've done some CGC or CSG. I'm getting all my letters, all the different characters mixed up. And I've done some CSG cracks and subs to PSA and had some pretty good results. The last time, the results were not as good as they had been in the prior few times. So we'll see with these which way the trend goes. If it continues to get better, if it continues to be not as great, or if it gets a little bit worse, I'll be disappointed if that's the case. But yeah, so I'm going to be really excited. I did crack these and resub to PSA, so I didn't submit them in the CSG slabs. But really excited to see how those do. I'm just excited to get those cards back, honestly. So that's what we're looking at. Without any further ado, let's get right into that package and see how we do. All right, this is going to be a small PSA order, but one I'm very nervous, very anxious for, but hopeful. So let's get right into it. Never seen one in a bag like there. At least I don't remember. I could be wrong. Let's figure out. Can I rip into this? I think I should be able to. Oh, and scissors. Right. Bags within bags. I can't rip into that one, but it looks like I'm gonna be able to avoid all that packing tape that I'm so good at. Well, got a little bit of tape. Almost cut my finger there. You know, not following Joe's instructions very well today. So let's follow them this time. Cutting away from the body. Nobody's getting hurt. Spoil anything with that. Let's try to unwrap this in a way that won't spoil anything. Okay. Like that. All right. Starting off with a big one. All right. So this one here was a CSG 10. I would love to see it get a 10. A 9 would be fine. The values aren't what they were when I sent them in, last I checked anyway. I'll be a little bit disappointed with an 8 though, but 10 would be really exciting. An 8, man, that is a bit of a bummer. But hey, you know, that CSG experiment in the past was doing well, so far not so great. But another one from CSG here. This was CSG 8.5. You know, so an 8 or a 9, a 7 would be a bummer. Anything above a 9, you know, 10 would be bananas. But, you know, looking at the condition of it, I'm expecting an 8. That's kind of where I'm thinking. A 6. Oof, wow. All right. This has not been going well for me so far. But, hey. All right. So this is not mine. This is a friend's. I'm trying to remember what he wanted on it. I want to say that he wanted a 9 or a 10. I'm not positive on that, but hopefully it's better than those last 2. 9. Okay. So we'll double check with him and see if he's happy with that. But all right. And this one, you know, now I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about this one now. This was a CSG 9.5. It's one of those cards that's hard to pinpoint a value regardless of the grade. But part of the reason why I wanted a PSA slab is that CSG slab was actually a smidge thicker than the regular ones. It didn't appear it, but when I was trying to put it in a team bag, it would not fit. So I was like, well, if it's not going to fit a team bag, I definitely don't want it in there. So, you know, I'd be happy with a 9. I'd be ecstatic with a 10. 8, not the happiest. Got an 8. Well, I'm striking out. I'm 0 for 3. At least the Mahomes was a 9, but well, those CSG grades did not hold true, and I'm really surprised by that. But you know, the more you learn. All right, so you know, the good news there is that Pat Mahomes, you know, my friend was hoping for a 9 on that when I did touch base with him after we got that package opened. So he's happy. He's happy with a 9 on that Mahomes. So that is the positive story. You know, I'm gonna admit I am bummed to see where those CSG cards ended up getting graded. You know, the Jordan, I mean, I'm bummed, but I'm not quite as, you know, bummed as the other two, because I knew, you know, the 8.5 was a pretty generous grade on that, you know, by PSA standards. You know, obviously every company has their own standards for, you know, what dictates what grades, you know, but the Dunkin' Go Nuts, I think, is probably the one that I'm the most disappointed by. You know, at the end of the day, all of those cards in their PSA slabs, you know, it is a improvement on their value from the raw copies. So, you know, call it cope, call it whatever you want, you know, but that is one of those kind of fun aspects of getting a card back in a PSA slab is as long as it's better than the original state, you know. And again, I got that Jordan in a trade, that Dunkin' Go Nuts I got at a sweetheart of a price, that I've really always loved that Iverson Dunkin' Go Nuts. You know, really, other than the Penny, the Iverson and the Vince Carter are the other two that I really enjoy. So someday I might get that Vince Carter as well. You know, and that Dennis Rodman was a very great surprise coming out of a pack. So you can see 90s cards coming fresh out of the pack, going off to grading. You know, sometimes not every card's going to get a 9 or a 10, and that's just the way it goes, especially with 90s, but even with modern stuff. You know, so I'm also happy to have that one slabbed, and it's really hard to detect the value on that Rodman, because they do not come up for sale often, whether they're graded or if they are raw. And, you know, sometimes we've talked about the Triumvirate, sometimes they get, you know, identified incorrectly, you know, and also they're just such delicate and beautiful cards. Sometimes people that want them in their collection, you know, just having them in a slab and knowing the condition is good enough for them. Sometimes just getting it in the slab and then cracking it out and having it in a, you know, people collect those all different ways. So, you know, I'm happy to have that in the slab. Again, you're hearing some cope from me. I'm gonna be honest. So anyway, that's what we got. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Love to hear your feedback on this grading reveal. We've got a number of PSA orders, you know, set to come back soon. We'll see how many of those can come in before the National. You know, and the National is right around the corner, so really excited for that. So, you know, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New videos dropping once, sometimes twice a week. We got looks into my PC, occasional grading reveals, 90s pack openings, occasional collector interviews, some show stuff, and so much more. Thanks. We'll talk later.